Hello and welcome to this episode of the Classically Urban Podcast, George. I was already recording.
Well,
Bitch!
You just said
I'm
yes.
Phil.
Resident streamer.
Yes wouldn't have answered your question.
Henry and Gryphos. Hi.
I'm George.
Did nobody ask you?
It's your boy, Baby Ice Cube.
I'm your mother's favorite side whore.
We waiting on you, bro.
I don't know. Fuck. Are we?
You were the only one that had a can thing.
Okay, so we're talking about my week then.
Sure. Yeah. Let's start. Let's start out with our week.
Hold up. This is gonna. Is your mic all right?
I don't know.
Okay, I didn't hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
I hear you.
You're just dumb.
Okay. No, I didn't hear you first time. Anyway,
Just got a fucked up face.
shut
More
up.
so than normal, might I add.
I look like you on a good day.
Yeah.
No,
So
that's not true.
And I do.
No.
George looks like he tried to make out with the cheese grater. Let's hear about why he does.
Okay, so let's talk about my week. I've been playing therapist to some white trash horrible person at work, and I hate it.
What's wrong with your face?
Motherfucker, I will get to it when I'm good and goddamn ready,
Dog.
motherfucker.
This has nothing to do with your face,
What
George.
you
We
want to
just wanna about
know?
your
Wait,
face.
You have herpes all over your face.
Oh my fucking god, shut up.
He listened to the TV show and thought that the beehive wouldn't wake up at night, and
What
he
the
decided
fuck are
to go
you
fuck with
talking
it.
about?
Blood.
You look like a wad of flesh
Okay,
that has a cystial problem.
no, because the fuck is your...
Okay. Context. Let's go.
Okay, fine then. Here's what happened. Got home, ate food, fucking puked so hard I goddamn fucking all the blood vessels in my face bursted. That's what the fuck happened. It was horrifying. I get home, I eat like fucking 2 bowls of this like fucking goddamn manes that shit my grandma made. I get up, walk to the bathroom, just
Oh
fucking
my god.
blood vessels bursted. You piece of shit.
You look like a cystial ball of tits because you puked so hard.
Yeah, that's how bad my fucking day
Holy
was.
shit.
You bitch. Anyway.
Oh my god.
No.
Wait. Do you know how hard you gotta puke for your face to explode?
I know. I
His whole-
felt it, you bitch.
His whole face is red, guys.
I think there's more to it than just that.
No,
I think
that's
it's-
exactly what happened.
Oh, fuck. That's funny.
Motherfuckers wanted to know some shit, just couldn't wait. Fuck all you.
No, because you kept saying you'll find out on the podcast. The
Yeah.
podcast is on.
But I was gonna fucking wait till we did the whole thing we do every week. Hey, how's your week? How's your week? How's your week?
I
Yeah.
couldn't sit here looking at you the entire time talking about my week, not
We
knowing
wanted
that
to
your
know why
face
you look like a
exploded.
cystial ball of tits.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Cody, take yourself outside of society.
And that, everybody, is this episode of the...
Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to our Patreon and cash in. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that was seriously horrible. Cause like my day was fine up until that point.
And then you became a cystial ball of tits.
And then no, literally, I got
Wait.
home. Grandma made food, and like I had an amazing fucking meal, like fresh cooked manestra. You guys don't know that because you don't know what flavor it is.
Is Manestra like Greek for dying afterwards?
Sure, why not?
Mini death.
Many die.
he said we don't know what flavor it is. Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
you don't.
You're white.
You're more white than we are.
Dun dun.
No, you.
The only reason you have more color than them is because your face is red.
Fuck all you. You don't use logic. Hate all you. Anyway, yeah, no, I literally after eating 2 bowls of that and some bread, got up. And just like it all just like oh
He
fuck, I'm gonna die.
were not white because you looked at your face.
You sound like Professor Fink from The Simpsons.
Mike turned around. I don't know how.
Freckled out.
Oh my god.
Hey, maybe you go back.
Woo! You look like
Hey.
a cystial ball of tits. Nobody
Ooh,
wants to
can't
hear
come
it.
up with another insult.
Yeah, because it's upsetting you. That's why it's funny.
Woo! So speaking of people that threw up this past week, how about you, Cody?
Yeah. Had an unfavorable moment. Puked on our friend.
Yeah.
Oopsie poopsie.
At his going away party.
No, no, hey, whoa,
Hold
chill,
up.
chill,
Hold
chill,
up.
chill, chill. It's
I
undecided.
was not
It's
aware.
undecided. I thought that was.
I was not
undecided.
aware that was a going away
It's
party.
undecided.
No, they've been talking very seriously about moving back to Cali. That's why they threw the party.
Yeah.
Still undecided.
I'm
That's what we
hoping
were-
that they
that's what we
stay
were
out. They're
talking
fucking
about.
awesome. But that'll make me. It caught me off guard.
That's
I
why
was
we were
like,
sitting at the table and talking.
"Aw,
Because Cody likes to get to the bottom of things.
Huh.
In every sense. That's right.
He takes it all the way to the balls.
Bottom. Bottom. I'm an ass man.
The
Come on.
We
The
know you're a
base
bottom,
of the
Cody. We know
shaft.
you're a
No,
bottom.
I was talking about you sticking it in your mouth.
Yeah, but no, but I said to the bottom of things.
The
as
bottom
in
of the shaft.
Bottom.
The balls.
Yeah.
The butthole.
Oh, so you're
Asshole.
You're,
I eat ass.
You're going straight through the dick.
I eat ass. So
Through
you
the
happy?
dick,
God
through the
damn it.
gooch.
You
no,
have
he's
shit
taking so
breath.
much of the dick he finds the butt.
He's got to cross no man's
Cody
land.
sucks dick like
AKA
Where can I find a girl like that?
Oh my God.
God.
She'd have to unhinge her jaw like a serpent. Like,
You know what? At that point, I wouldn't even be upset that she's touching my asshole because that is impressive.
yowzers.
That's fucking. Would you like? That's impressive.
That would be terrifying. Like,
Whoa! What is touching me? Is that your tongue?
what that? Hey, girl, what that mouth do? She
Hi,
turns
Hannah's
into
parents.
fucking Molina from Mortal Kombat. Like,
Hi, Stavro, my cousin in Chicago. How you been? Don't tell the family about this.
what? Whoa.
You didn't know about that?
Your cousin sucked your...
What the fuck is your issue, you?
thought we were talking about. You're like, hey, my cousin. Stop dropping the hard R, by the way.
Okay, can we get over the fact we
Why
talk
were you-
like this normally?
Yeah,
No,
no.
you're the only one who says
You've
retard.
been dropping
Shut
that
up.
hard
Yeah,
R.
you're the only one who says it.
No.
Yeah, on the podcast.
I'm
you're
pretty
typically the
politically
only
correct,
one.
bro.
Yeah.
Brandon's let it slip like once or twice, maybe.
No, I say in the real world, this is how we usually talk. And we
Yeah,
just
you're
quit
the only
with
one who
this.
says it.
I don't say
Yeah.
that in the real
You're
world.
lying. Can you say that?
I don't.
I can honestly say I say it in the real world, mostly to piss people off. But I mean, you know,
I have a way broader variety of slurs.
I think
and
the only
insults
time I
can throw
say it is when
people.
JJ's around because I know it really grinds your
Facts.
gears.
but I will say I have been trying to change, so I say it less often.
Wow, look at you. Wow.
Mr. Sophisticated.
40.
But I digress. Why were you talking about your cousin? Because we were just talking about licking
sucked
butt.
Oh, your beer, your beer!
We were talking about people listening to the podcast, weren't we?
No,
For
we were
a
talking
quick
about
second?
people taking buttholes.
I definitely shouted out Hannah's parents because she listens to the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I said shout out to
And they are
your cousin.
definitely not touching my butthole.
I was still on the butthole thing.
Ah!
Yeah.
Right.
I could have said so many unfavorable things right there, but I chose not to. Holla at
You're
you,
a
boy.
better man
Changing my
than
ways.
George.
Air five. Woo!
Ric Flair. But yeah, back onto the whole topic of the week thing. Awesome that our pals might not be going. Gonna knock on wood silently so it doesn't fuck up the audio. Pictures of
Would
our
you
people
stop doing that for the
in
love of
Halloween
Jesus
costumes.
Christ?
Caleb, do not stop doing that for the love of Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna keep on plugging our Patreon until people start.
Caleb was a
subscribing to our
slutty
Patreon.
blade.
I was. Yeah. Think Wesley Snipes, but like with
But
not
like
pants.
100 pounds lighter and no pants.
Yeah, it was great.
He's a
Subscribe to our
twink
Patreon to see me wield my blade.
Oh.
It was a katana.
What?
It was
a rapier.
It was a rapier.
What? No, what?
Yeah. that was
Blade doesn't.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We were
Okay.
talking about your costume.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
you're
thought I was going.
It doesn't matter.
rolling
now.
with the things.
It doesn't
Anyways,
matter now.
Yeah. Costume party was fun.
Joke's ruined.
Jokes were.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Happens.
Yeah.
When you got cystial tit balls over here.
He actually mixed it up a little bit.
I get happy every time you wheeze like that because I think you're having an asthma attack.
That's funny. Anyway, Caleb, how was your week?
My week was pretty cool. I got to hang out with Arius, my brother.
Shout out to Big Bro.
Out in fucking Japan, he fucking whooped my ass for about 5 hours straight in Street Fighter V as Akuma, which he ended up dressing up as for Halloween. And since he's like a buff ass black dude who's like 6'5", it worked out. It looked pretty terrifying. I wouldn't want to walk up to him in an alley.
Except he's in a costume, so it's not as terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could kick me in the chest without
No,
much strain, so that's cool.
no interesting moments at work. Just same old bullshit.
Interesting moments at work. I mean,
You don't
it's
really
just-
deal with a lot of customers, so I feel like interesting moments are very few and far between.
I
for
deal
you.
with a lot of internal
Yeah.
situations, which is why I don't really talk about my job a whole bunch because I don't want to be like, yeah, this fucker that I had to deal with. No, my crew's pretty cool. So yeah, it's just same old, same old. Another week, another paycheck.
Yeah, I feel that. What about you, Phil? What?
What in the hell just happened to you?
What? Nothing.
You're lying.
What? The mic didn't catch anything, bro. We straight. What's popping?
Oh my god.
I got a whiff of my ear cheese, all right? We're good. When you stretch your ears, the dead skin cells
Oh.
coagulate into this cheesy-esque stuff.
I wonder if that
Stretch
makes
your
it
ears?
delicacy.
Yeah, when you stretch them,
Okay, yeah.
as
Fair
in
gauges.
the big holes.
Because,
in
rich
my
people
face.
be eating whatever. I wonder if, like...
Dog, I wouldn't
So
put it
bad.
past them.
Yeah.
Human cheese.
Human cheese.
It smells so fucking bad.
I mean, I feel
Brandon,
like
you wanna
could
smell?
probably make actual human cheese. Ugh.
I just got a whiff of it, and it is foul. So, Phil, proceed.
So, new kid at work,
Yeah.
yeah. putting a transfer case and a transmission in a car, right? Well, he doesn't really know what he's doing, so we're kind of helping him here and there. He's putting it back together and completely cross-threads one of the bolts in
Ooh.
the power steering rack.
Oh,
So we have to
no.
put a $800 steering rack in the car that we had to eat because he fucked it up.
Yep.
And then puts it down, drives it, pulls it back in, and he broke the clock spring, which is the little mechanism in the steering wheel.
Oh, shit.
If it's not lined up right, you turn the wheel too far, it goes pop, and then a whole bunch of lights come on. And it's like $1,800. Or usually it's really expensive. He was so scared to tell the service writer. He went to parts. He was like, "Hey, Dylan." Shout out, Dylan. I know you're listening.
What's up,
And-
Dylan?
He's like, "Hey, Dylan, how much is a clock spring for this car?" And Dylan's like, "It's $150." And he went and got $150 and paid for it.
Oh,
'Cause
shit.
he didn't want to tell the service writer he fucked up again.
Well, at least he ate at that time and not the shop.
Yep.
Commendable.
And then this morning, when I got to work, he's like, "Hey, what could cause the... Why, Caleb?
It didn't work.
Because you don't know what you're doing."
I don't know what I'm doing.
He's like, "Hey, could an axle being loose cause the ABS light to come on?" I'm like, "Yeah." He didn't tighten down the axle nut.
Nice.
His
So
excuse,
he's just a fuck up all around.
Yeah, his excuse was it backed off. That's his favorite excuse. The nut or the bolt backed off. That doesn't happen if they're tight. But they started a new thing. There's a list on the manager's desk, and if you fuck something up, your name or your number goes on the list and what you did and the RO number. Tell me why 3/4 of this list is him. And I'm just saying the page is 3/4 full, but he's every single one.
Oh, fuck. That's
and,
rough.
and it's only been a week, and he has like 20 fuck ups.
So do you foresee his termination?
No, because our manager's an idiot.
Oh, yeah. Fair. Brandon, what about you?
Can y'all like at least try to care? Thank you. I appreciate that. No, you don't get this mic back.
Brandon hit us
Because you're over
with
there
that.
taking selfies.
Brandon hit us with
Call-
that. I'm
call
not
us a
mad.
cystial
I'm just
tip-off.
disappointed. It's all-
Jesus Christ. My week since nothing really interesting has happened. I mean, I went to go see Hannah. But that's about all I did. And went to school. Been pretty light week work-wise, you know. People are actually considerate and care.
You literally just said pay attention so I can tell you nothing happened in my week.
He just
Fuck
asked
you.
me a question, and I was just answering the question.
Sorry, I have to point this out. So the person on George's shirt is literally a negative of his face.
No. It's a no.
I won't deny that. I won't deny that. To be fair, it's a. Let me explain to people.
It's a backward cystial tit ball.
It's a
It's a ball tit cystial.
It's a faded out Jumpman logo with dots missing. So there you go.
It's a red logo with a bunch of black dots all over it.
I love how you said Jumpman instead of saying it's the Jordan symbol.
Jumpman,
It's
Jumpman,
because it's a
jump on
Jumpman.
that boy
I thought
up
that's
to
what it was called.
something.
It's called the Jumpman.
It is. I'm just proud of you for actually calling its name instead of just being white and saying the Jordan symbol.
Oh.
Jumpman,
job.
Jumpman,
Cracker.
that boy up to something. That's the only part of that song that I know.
Honky.
Cracker.
White bread.
White bread.
I mean,
Holy.
If you want to know about my week, like
Can we get to mine?
it's simply.
I've been trying to tell you guys about mine for the past 3 weeks.
You
Every time I
legitimately
try.
went first, and you just
Motherfucker!
you did. We gave you the floor.
Yeah, I tried. And they're like, "Get your fucking face! Shut up, Caleb! Shut up!"
No,
That's the only part that
cystial
mattered.
tip ball.
I was.
Sick of it.
You could have continued going. You didn't have to stop at the tit ball face.
That's all you guys fucking cared about, apparently.
I couldn't look at you without thinking about it. Keep on going then.
All right, fucking, I've had to play therapist. This is a dumb bitch at fucking work. This woman needs to get her fucking life together and her teeth fixed. Fuck this bitch.
Subscribe to our Patreon
Dude,
to find out who
an
this bitch
entire
is.
tooth is dead. Like, just straight. It looks like it's chocolate covered. It's fucked, man. It's fucked.
Oh man.
Those are the ones that's there, Brandon.
But does she look like a cystial tip ball?
No.
Huh.
You know what she looks like? Sadness. The teeth are there, either rotten to the point where she was telling me, like, yeah, I have to get my tweezers out of my makeup bag, and my boyfriend didn't like it. I'd use the tweezers to pick out the food from my teeth because it'll rot them.
That's sexy.
The boyfriend she's with got her pregnant after 3 months of dating.
Turn up.
At least he waited till at least
2018. We don't pull out.
Yeah.
River didn't. Now we got precious puppies on the way.
And, yeah. Those are the teeth that are there. She's missing most of them. She's missing the entire left side. She can't chew on that side, Cody.
That reminds me.
Meth, not even once, people.
I hadn't had the chance.
Hashtag Indiana, meth capital of the world. Woo! #1, baby. Indiana, #1 World Series champion of meth. It's factual, actually. It's really sad. However, I've never ran across any meth in my life, which is ironic.
It was really big in Terre Haute.
I only know this because my mom works at the Department of Health. So she's tells me
So
about all this stuff. She buys all those things.
I've got
that
an
they need.
interesting story about this.
About methods?
My coworker was at work one day, and he gets a phone call. I could only hear one side of the conversation. Basically, this is what I hear. What do you mean you found a meth lab in your garage?
What?
Yeah, no, his friend, she called him, and she's like, hey, there's a meth lab in my garage. What do I do? And he's like, I don't know. Call the cops? She bagged it all up and dropped it off at the police station. She was like, yeah, I don't know what to do with this. I found it in my garage.
What?
Some guy she was dating just kind of made it overnight.
El Chapo's gonna be coming for her, bro.
And then he borrowed her car to go to a probation meeting. And cops got behind him. He decided to run. He's in a tourist show.
Ooh.
Spike strips. All tires popped. Hit a curb. Broke a bunch of stuff. Jail. Let's see. She found the car. She only knew he was in jail because she reported the car stolen because he never came home. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's an impound. Car gets towed to our shop, so we start going through it because we're trying to find the keys. We find 3 cell phones. We charge them up. They actually work. There's pictures of IDs and guns and money and, yeah,
Oh my gosh.
good time.
He got 3.
But yes, could you imagine, like, walking out into your garage and there just being a meth lab? Like, what would you do?
Start cooking meth.
Jesse.
And
Jesse. We have to cook Jesse.
That's why your face looks like it does.
he messed up at the meth cooking.
Facts.
You got
That
burned,
would-
George. A guy in my parking lot got arrested for beating off in the parking lot.
Okay.
Why would you beat off in a
Employee
parking
or
lot?
customer?
No, he wasn't even related to Pet Boys. A random lady came in and asked one of my coworkers to call the police, and he's like, why? And she's like, there's a guy masturbating in the parking lot.
Like in his car or just like...
In a pickup truck, yeah.
How low Harvey Weinstein has fallen.
And I thought my coworker was fucking with me. Sure as shit, like 3 Fishers police cops pull up and they're surrounding this fucking pickup
How
truck.
quickly did they get there? I mean, you'd think they'd just be...
They didn't
done
get
in
there
a
very
day.
quick, so he had to have got his nut off.
Yeah, so I would have left at that point, you know, like...
The question is, did he put his dick away when he got out of the truck?
Apparently, someone else called the cops on him because he was also doing it at Walmart a little bit before that.
He's the hash-slinging slasher.
He's the dick beating beater.
Yeah.
The dick beating slinger.
Ooh, there we go. Yeah, yeah, that happened.
That should
Also
be the
had
title of this
a
podcast.
customer today get shitty with me because we were taking too long on his battery replacement because the tech at my job couldn't get the battery out because it was a 2008 Lexus and it still had the Lexus battery in it. I don't know if you know this, but you're not supposed to have a battery for 10 fucking years.
Well, you can have them for 10 years. The problem is they only last about 5 to 7. Usually they don't last longer than that.
So when you run it that long, battery acid leaks. And the battery acid leaked out and fused the terminal to the post of the battery. Fused it together. It was one piece. And go out there and I tell him, well, I tried to call the number that he gave me and it was his wife's number. And I told her what was going on and then he came back in and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just here to pick up my car. And I was like, okay, well, do you want me to go show you what's going on? And he was like, no. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, you can't get the work done. You can't get the work done. And I was like, well, that's not the problem. I was like, we can, but the tech that's here right now can't. So I was like, I could set you up for an appointment. We can get this finished. And he's like, no, it's fine. I just want to take my car. And I'm like, so you don't want to know what's going on? And he's like, no. He's like, my wife has no faith in this place anymore, so we're just going to take the car. And I'm like, but we know what's wrong. Yeah, he was just giving me shit. And then the guy was like, I was like, all right, we'll just pull the car out for you. And he's like, where would it be? And I was like, oh, it'll be out front. My tech was like, nah, it'll be out back for you. Yeah, parked it out back. I was like, I'm trying to help him, and he's just like, no. I'm like, do you not want to know, like, why we can't do it? Hello, we have the answer.
People would be like that sometimes.
And then another customer walked up in the garage area, and we're 30 minutes to close. The tech still has 2 cars to finish. And he walks up in there with like a lawnmower wheel, so it's real tiny with a tire, and he's asking him if he can get the tire onto it because it fell off. And we have a machine there that's meant for car tires, not dinky tires. Like, it was probably like no bigger than my hand. And so he's trying and he can't do it. He's like, look, man, I don't think I can do it. So the customer gets shitty with him and says, word for word, look, man, if you don't want to fucking do it, just fucking tell me.
Wow.
Yeah, so my tech was like, all right, we'll take it and leave. Bye. And so he starts walking out, and he's cussing at him, and then my tech gets shitty. He's like, hey, man. He's like, we got a problem. And then I had to fucking grab him, and I had to tell I was like, look, man, I told the customer, I was like, you need to leave now. And he was just like, man, fuck you, and fuck this place, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, it's fine, but you have to leave. I was like, I'm not going to allow you to curse at the technicians in this store. Like, that's not allowed, period. Like,
Who gets that worked up over a lawnmower tire?
so then they get into a shouting match, and the guy says, he's white, mind you, and he's like, yeah, the white boy can't hold you back forever, or something like that. And then my tech's just like, I'll beat your ass right now. And I was like, oh, God, please, no. And and then the customer's, like, amping him up. Customer now parks in the front of the building, goes inside and starts talking to one of the managers in the parts section. It's not our boss.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck is he going to do? Hello? And he's already in the wrong because he walked up into the garage. Like, it's not how this works. So.
He's not even really your customer because he didn't buy shit from you.
No, not only did he not do that, but I had no work order for him.
Yeah, like he has no like.
No, he has no leg to
You
stand
guys were
on.
just trying to hook him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My tech was just trying to help him.
That's fried, bro.
Yeah.
Entitled white people suck.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Entitled people in
It
general.
was pretty great. But the whole time, he's yelling. I'm just waiting for the N-word to fly out. I'm just like,
Oh, God.
because he was totally that guy. And I'm standing there and I'm like, please, for the love of God, please, like, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Because then me and my tech both have to beat his ass.
But
At that point, I wouldn't care.
quick question, buzzed head.
No, he was just like older white guy with a goofy ass accent. Like, you could tell. And it was just like the whole time I'm like, please, fuck, just don't say it, because then we both lose our jobs. Because at that point, I don't care anymore. But he didn't. Praise be.
He probably knew he was outnumbered. You have dreads.
Yeah, but he told me that he told my tech that the white boy, me,
can't hold him back forever or something like that. And I'm like, well, I'm like, first and foremost, I'm holding him back because I don't want him to lose his job. I'd definitely be beating your ass outside of work.
People suck.
Yeah, people are goofy. A few minutes after, though, a customer came in and his vehicle still wasn't done, and he was super cool about it. And I was like, thank you. He was like, yeah, I'll just schedule an appointment for a later time. I was like, thank you so much. It's good to have, like,
Balance of
Yeah,
shitty customers
yeah.
and decent customers.
because the good customers honestly outweigh the bad ones just because, like, it's really relieving to know that there's people out there who fucking understand how shit works. He didn't have an appointment. He came in trying to get oil change, and we were overbooked. He totally understood. It probably wasn't going to get done. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Boom. Simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that hard of a concept. You don't have an appointment, it may not happen. We'll try. We tried. Didn't work. Simple as that. Yeah. So in the hip hop world, Caleb, you wanted to talk about the whole Eminem MGK thing?
Yeah, I was curious if there's any updates on that, like how it's been failing, because it's kind of not. I haven't seen as much in my feeds lately, and that's usually how I keep up to date on the stuff that I don't actively follow.
Well, the thing about the internet works fast, and hip hop almost works faster in some instances. So when beef happens, or in this day and age, it kind of blows up, and unless either of the parties is furthering said beef, it usually dies off really quick. However, I still stand by my whole. I don't have a pony in the race of the whole thing, just because I don't like Eminem, and B, I haven't listened to MGK since I was about a freshman in high school, so I don't have a pony in the race. However, I still don't like Eminem. So, his album was trash.
Oh.
And you knew it was rushed and not a good album when his single for the movie Venom is a track on the album.
Now, was his album the surprise diss track album that he released, or is that an...
It was a surprise album, yeah.
Okay,
So, like,
okay.
it's, to me, we're in a day and age where surprise albums, I mean, they're full-length albums. They're not half-assed. Like, they've been working on it. It's just surprise because, hey, I didn't have a date, but here it is.
Oh, so
Beyonce started that trend, fun fact. Still don't like Beyonce.
that's a
but
happy surprise then, right?
I don't
Well,
like
if it's a
Beyonce.
decent album.
I just don't like Beyonce.
Oh, no, I was just
I don't
talking
find her
about,
albums
like,
good at all.
idea of
Beyonce's just notorious because like she has like such stands that like she won't tell them shit, and then she'll at like 5 a.m. in the morning she'll just drop something, and then the whole entire internet will
A
just like
stan
shut
is a
down.
term coined because Eminem has a song called "Stan" about an over-obsessed
Yeah.
fan. Yeah.
I like
Also,
that.
Beyonce just has like an insanely scary fan base, where
Queen
if you talk
Bey, blah,
shit
blah,
about
blah.
Beyonce, you're liable to get like ass raped by thousands of Beehive members.
Carrie Hilson no longer has a career because of that,
Huh.
and she was good.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I don't like Beyonce because I don't find her a very talented singer, but she's a good performer. But I also don't give her credit for that because she does none of that work.
It's like choreographed or
It's
written for
she
her.
doesn't do the choreography. She doesn't do the set design. She doesn't produce her own albums. She doesn't write her own songs.
So
she's
just her
l-
brand that
she's just
really
there.
good at promoting.
Is she the Trump of hip hop?
She's not hip hop.
She's just
R&B, right?
she's gotten to the point of stardom to where she literally does no work, and I find that whack because
Isn't Eminem in that same kind of boat?
no, because Eminem still writes his own songs.
Well, like he doesn't need to though.
However, the big argument between the diss tracks was that MGK had a co-writer, but so did Eminem.
And you said that the way they credit writers in the music industry is way different than most other industries.
No, it's the same in every industry. It's just like, but that's the whole argument. Like, oh, MGK had a co-writer. Well, Eminem did too. Even if one dude in the studio was like, you should say this instead of that, you get credit as a writer, which is whack. That's a thing. But it's like,
That's just the
if
way
you're
it is.
gonna
So
try and
that-
throw it in the face of another artist, it's like, well, the artist you're favoring had the same
So
thing
what's
technically
so bad
too.
about having someone proofread
Hip hop
your
is one of
work?
those things where it's like sacred to write your own rhymes.
But I mean,
That's what separated hip hop from like every other genre.
but it sounds like proofreading someone's artwork. Like, hey,
No,
man,
no.
check this out. Is it good? Oh, hey, you had a couple of tense errors right here. Maybe change this up and like, just polish up your words. And then they're like, you didn't write that. You had a co-writer. Is that
I mean,
what a
but
co-writer is?
that's not what happens.
Okay,
You're thinking of it too grammatically.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's not
what-
an
That's what I
essay.
thought it was.
It's not like
when you said,
they just write their words down. They don't give a fuck about tenses or like
A lot of rappers don't even write.
It's just like
Oh.
they don't like a lot of them just think it and just go.
I think I took your example too literally.
the
when you
point of
said-
it is
yes,
that
that's what I was.
Okay.
hip hop's one of those
My bad.
things where it's like, if you're not the only credited writer for the song, you're not a good rapper. Because in history, the greatest rappers were their own writers.
I think it's become very hypocritical though.
Is it terrible?
I don't have a problem with writers because
Some people.
it
are
just
good at
it just
that, right?
depends. Like it really all depends. Like, I mean, Kendrick has writers on his albums. However, it's not to say that he's not a bad rapper. It's just that maybe more heads is better. You
So
know?
Where do like really good lyricists but not performers fit in the game? Like people are really good at writing rap.
Yeah,
but
you never
they're
hear
not-
about him.
But
There's a lot of them.
so
You ever heard of a guy called Vinny Paz? Exactly.
Shit, Joe Budden.
so there's like unsung heroes. Like they could be like really fucking talented.
Rap has gone
words.
beyond the point of just rhymes and lyrical ability. It's now music as a whole. Because when rap first started, it was like this thing that was for. It was kind of like FUBU, for us, by us.
Mhm.
It was for people who were in these certain situations. Urban. Hey, classic urban.
Hey,
And now it's reached a point to where it's an actual, like, really, truly, like, noticed genre. It's a genre that's constantly played on stations, even non-hip-hop stations. It's an actual music genre. And when you get to that point, you can no longer just have your basic boring beats. Even though the rhymes are sensational, it still has to be better music.
well, I'm saying, what if you're like you have this vision? You're like, I need this song to be like this, but I need this person to sing it because they have the voice that's perfect for it. Like,
What about it?
is that just like?
What,
don't
that
get
happens a
credit?
lot.
What
so
do you?
like,
Yeah.
I'm confused.
so what he's saying?
That's
so,
that's called a feature. That's not a writer.
no. What
no.
he's saying is like, so Cardi B doesn't write any of her stuff, right?
That's not totally true.
I mean, but it's a dude. What is his name? I just forgot his name. There's a dude in New York who writes songs. That's all. Like he just writes rhymes.
there's
And
a lot of rappers. There's
yeah.
a lot of writers in the
And they,
hip
like,
hop.
and
design
he also
music
makes his
and
own
stuff.
music though. When he wrote a song from. He was talking about it on Charlamagne's podcast. He wrote a song from a girl's perspective. Like he wrote it himself. He was going to do the song himself, and then Cardi heard it, and she's like, "Yo, let me try to do this." And he heard her do it, and he's like, "Oh, this is where it needs to go."
Sometimes
So
it
he
just
gave
makes
it
more
to her.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm-
those people do those things, and they still get the writer credit for
There's
it.
a rapper called Problem, and he's
But-
notorious for being a writer. Like that was his whole thing, and now he's trying to be like a standalone artist. He wrote songs for Snoop Dogg. I mean,
Do writers not get the same reputation that rappers do? even
no,
if they like,
because you don't
make-
know who they are. You see an album, Cardi B's album, Cardi B.
No one tours with the writers.
That sucks. I mean, it just seems like they don't.
But some
care as
writers
much.
don't care because that's what they want to do.
They just want to put music out there. They
Yeah.
don't care about the
They
recognition.
enjoy the craft of making the music. They don't really want the
Okay.
fame and stuff. Some people want to be full-blown artists in the limelight. Like, it's
So it's just different. Maybe I was just thinking of like everybody wants the fame, but like only the people who have the pretty faces or the good voices get the fame.
that's sometimes true, but and a lot of times it's true. Like there's a lot of rappers who are good rappers, but they don't make good music. That's how I feel about Eminem. He's a good rapper. Do I think he's a little overrated at times? Yes, because I don't think anybody who has had as many shit songs as he has should be considered the GOAT. I get that there's bad songs, but he has a lot. I mean, fuck, he had a whole album where everyone still bought it. It's still a platinum album,
Aren't a
but
lot-
everyone kind of is in agreement. It's just like, it wasn't a very good album.
aren't a lot
And
of
if you're
goats dead.
the GOAT,
So
you can't have a whole bad album.
But
You know what I'm
aren't-
saying?
aren't a lot of the goats like dead, so they didn't have their careers alive long enough to mess up?
Yeah.
just-
no.
Well,
No, it's true.
yeah.
I mean, no, because Tupac. Come on.
Tupac's dead.
I know
Well, yeah,
Tupac
I
didn't have
feel
it,
like
but
if he was
messed.
around longer,
He
he
messed
might have
up
messed
in
up.
life. He didn't like. I mean, not really, but like he did things that like people didn't like him.
He did
for.
unfavorable things.
I was just wondering if, like, statistically speaking, if they were.
No, you're
in the game
right.
longer, they
Technically,
have a
the
higher
goats
chance of
are
messing up.
dead, and they did not have that chance to quote unquote make a bad album. However, it's just I feel like if you're in the conversation of being a goat, it's just if you have an entire project that everyone is kind of in agreement it's not very good. How are you the greatest?
You messed up on your greatest position. You should have stopped while you were ahead if you wanted to preserve that title.
Yes and no. Like, yeah, because I feel like if you feel like. I also don't totally blame Eminem for that album. I also blame his team because if you're a part of this man's team, there should be a point in time where you're like, yo, like, hold the fuck on. Like, I always go to the song Fack. It's an easy it's kind of a low blow, but at the same time, it's like, if you have a team of people, if you have management, if you have quote-unquote friends and stuff in your circle, somebody should be there to be like, hey, man, I don't think this is a very good fucking idea.
Wasn't that kind of what happened with, I know I'm jumping all
Kanye?
around the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, his guy that was his usual, hey,
Yeah.
let's tone it down, wasn't there for a
Don
while.
C.
And then he was like, hey,
Shout out
Kanye
Don
himself
C.
said, like, hey, I was running wild, but now my guy's back, so we're
Yeah.
Gucci.
Yeah.
So,
I don't believe in the whole one person is like the greatest of all time or one person can do all of it themselves because it doesn't make sense. Nobody does anything by themselves.
Behind every great
Nobody
person
builds an
is-
empire by themselves. Nobody can do the whole nine by themselves. And in the instance of Kanye, he really tries to do everything by himself, like 100%. He tries to bring the people together himself. He tries to make the brand himself. He tries to he tries to do it all by himself, and then obviously it doesn't pan out very well, and then everyone calls him a dickhead and calls him crazy. But the thing of it is, he's like the hardest working dude in hip hop history. Period.
See, when you look at it, Eminem. The reason I can't say Eminem is the GOAT is because of Dre.
Dr. Dre?
Yeah, because
But
Dre
didn't he stop while
made
he was
his.
ahead?
Well, no. I'm saying Dre made Eminem's raps music.
Exactly.
Yeah, Dre is why Eminem is Eminem. Like, not saying Eminem can't rap like Cody said, but without Dre's beats, Eminem's not shit. He's just another white rapper from middle of nowhere, America. That's
And
it.
there's a lot of those. Like, there's a lot of great rappers. It's just they don't make good music. There's a fine line, and I feel like people don't. I feel like a lot of like the hip hop purists just don't seem to understand that because hip hop at its core is rhymes and putting out into the world the shit that people are going through, which is true. However, if musically it doesn't sound good, I'm not gonna want to fucking listen to it. It's music at the end of the day.
Didn't you say Nas had that problem where he
Nas, in my opinion, is the greatest rapper of all time, but he has horrible beats. Terrible. Shit. Garbage. Kanye couldn't save him. The man he doesn't have beat. Kanye produced an entire album for Nas, and everyone's kind of like, it was okay. If Kanye can't save you, I'm at a loss.
No, I understand that.
So, in other hip hop news, did you see what 50 Cent did?
Dog.
Bro, this
you
is
see?
the pettiest motherfucker I've ever seen. It is so great.
You know what really is
Like,
the icing on the cake is that he already ended this man's career
Oh my
in a rap beef from
God.
the early 2000s. Jarule hasn't he hasn't been relevant in 20 years. 20 years, George.
Yeah, I think I know the story.
20 years this man has been you know what's extra fucked is he tried to come back with a music festival. Did you remember that
Bro,
shit?
oh my God, Cody.
Context, go.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wait,
he
hold
tried-
on. I just need to spend $3,000, buy 200 of this motherfucker's seats.
Front row seats, mind you.
No one is.
Yeah.
Oh, the pettiness,
Wait,
bro.
what happened?
Me and my dad said 50 is literally just bored, has so much money, he does not know what to do with it.
50
Like,
Cent
it's so funny.
bought, what was it, 200 front row seat tickets to Ja Rule's concert so nobody would be in the front row. He did this to a man who he beefed with in the early 2000s and ended his career. Ja Rule hasn't had an album that sold more than 100,000 copies in 20 years. He hasn't had a song that sold more than 100,000 copies. Ja Rule tried to come back about 5 years ago to formulate a music festival, and it ended up being fucked, and everyone got stranded on a remote island. And they ended up suing him. So not only is he out of money, he tried to come back to get some money off a tour, and 50 Cent fucked him.
That just makes me think of the whole
Ja Rule might have got the money, but nobody was there.
that just makes me think of that Simpsons meme where he's like, "Stop, he's dead already."
Dude, I'm saying, like...
Hold on. What was that one caption from the news article? It's like Ja Rule has white people out here stranded bologna sandwiches.
Yeah. No, they were literally, like, sleeping in... He had, like...
They were in
hundreds
tents.
of
They were in
hundreds of like rich white people who bought these extravagant, super expensive tickets, stranded on a remote island for like 3 days, eating bologna sandwiches, waiting for somebody to
I
come
think
get
it was
them.
I think it was like closer to a week.
He literally had them stranded. There was
How?
no because it was on this like remote island. That was the whole spiel was, okay, we have like these super luxurious bungalows and it's like a getaway, but it's also a concert, a festival type deal, and the tickets are super expensive, and you have all this luxuries like these nice bungalows and beautiful dinners,
really
and,
great ham
and
sandwiches.
these legendary artists. None of the artists showed up. None of the bungalows were set up. The food wasn't there, and these people were stuck there for like close to a week.
How many people were
They
on this
didn't even-
island?
There was a lot.
They didn't even have toilets.
Oh my god!
They didn't have dick.
Yeah, they didn't have toilets. They were shitting in buckets.
Oh no!
What kills me the most is how do you have a concert when you haven't had a record in like 10 years?
How did
And
people
then-
buy that?
and
Why did
then-
they buy it?
and
It's a cool
then-
concept.
And then,
No, it's a great
That's an
concept.
amazing. I'd
He
be
just
so
fucked
cool.
it.
and then to have your Grim Reaper come through and be like, "You ain't dead yet, nigga," but now you are, and just buy all them tickets and just stand there and laugh at you.
It just,
Did he go to the concert?
Bro, if he went to that concert and sat in that front row.
this is why Tekashi is the new 50 Cent, because that's why him and 50 Cent get along so well, is because 50 Cent's like, I like this guy. He fucks with people.
What was the? You see the screenshot of the tweet? It's like, I love 50 Cent. I always will, but I understand why this man was shot 9 times.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do to a guy like that? What can you do?
Can't even shoot him anymore.
You can't. He literally, he filed for bankruptcy and then was still posting on Instagram stacks of money that spelled out broke.
50 Cent did.
Yes!
To be fair,
There was recordings of him cussing out his son, and people still listen to him, and people still watch his show. Like,
Did you ever see
what
what
can
he,
you do to him?
Did you ever see what he did to like fucking shit, Fat Joe? He essentially created the whole basic. I don't even know
Hip-hop
how to
is
describe
great.
it. I don't even know how to describe it, dude.
hilarious.
He just shit on him.
If anybody doesn't like hip hop, I feel like they should just read articles as to like just the
shit they-
characters.
It reminds me of like the Real Housewives of New York or some shit.
It's just so great. Like, even if you don't like the music, just look at the ridiculous shit they do to each other. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, he what's it called? Faked medical injury and said he was listening to Ja Rule's music and just like physically hurt him. That's how bad it was.
I mean, you have beef like, and nowadays you have Tekashi and Trippie Redd, where Tekashi has literally said like "fuck your dead homies" to Trippie Redd, and then Trippie Redd was like "fuck your dead dad," which is fucked.
That's savage.
And then Tekashi turns around and jams out to Trippie Redd's music as a "fuck you"
What?
on his way to court.
What?
Yes, he's literally blasting his music in his
Doesn't
car.
even give a shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. Even if you don't like hip hop, you gotta love the characters of it. It's just amazing. It's
There's
just
so
like
much of
it's
trolls.
almost like not real sometimes.
Yo, I cackled at 50 Cent for a good 3 days after that. I saw that tweet, bro. I swear to
Do you-
God, I
do you
cackled.
remember
I
what-
was dying.
Do you remember what Tekashi did after he got shot at?
Mm-mm.
After the shooter missed horribly, horribly, terribly. So you know in a hotel, you know the entrance, right? The doors.
He hit above
Right, you know the
fucking
sign
body, bro.
typically where it's like above the doors? The shooter shot one time and hit way above the sign.
He just held his gun in the air and said fire, just like.
Tekashi got shot at, immediately took to Instagram and was like, nah, you need to try better. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand. It's just so ridiculous. Hip hop is just one of those places where it's so odd sometimes. Wait, was he really there? Oh my fucking god!
Stop it!
I didn't know he was.
Oh my God!
Look at his smile. He's like, hey, buddy. Long time no see. Jesus fucking Christ. What? It's amazing. Hip hop is stranger than fiction.
Entire genre full of Ric Flairs.
Look at his face.
I'm crying.
That's just like
This is only so funny because how he ended his career was so savage.
the only equivalent to that is if Steve Jobs were still around, if Bill Gates bought out like all the seats to like an Apple conference and just sat in the middle of it and was just like, yes, tell me more, yes.
I just love how every picture of 50 Cent has the biggest fucking hammy cheesy grin
He's
ever.
just laughing. That's like the epitome of like, what do you do when you have everything?
Look at the people behind.
What do you do when you have everything?
You shit on
You just
people who
shit
don't.
on people you don't like. And it's beautiful. And we all love it.
Have you seen the videos he's done where he's like hidden in the doorway and they're interviewing people and they're like, "So, what do you think
Oh,
of 50
yeah.
Cent?" And like they always start off saying like semi like neutral things or like negative, and like he walks out and then just towers over him from behind, and then they like realize who it is and they're like,
This is photoshopped. I took a closer look. You can see his legs are cut, but
Oh.
still,
Damn, that is.
if that was legit, that would have been
Okay.
hilarious.
It was fake, but
That's
the point still remains. 50 Cent didn't even have to be there. And Jarule had to look at 200 empty fucking seats. You, like, I need to see, I need to see other hip-hop artists top this right now. I need to see this because the only way to top this is if, like, Trippie Redd or Tekashi bought out an entire venue. At
I
one
was just about to say you have to buy out a whole stadium,
Dog.
bro. Like there's nothing you can do.
Can you fucking imagine?
the way I see it, Cody, is like he's kind of like reached the upperclassman level, and he's just like, how can I fuck with everyone?
Yeah, what can I
What's-
do now?
What's even worse is apparently Ja Rule's tickets are $15 a piece.
Yeah. They were on Groupon.
Oh no!
Yeah, they were on Groupon. And 50 Cent was like, bet. Yeah.
$15 a piece. It's like open mic tickets.
50 Cent was just like, yeah, I got like 3 racks laying around. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do?
Keeps it in his sock drawer.
Basically,
Okay.
what's his fucking show called?
So 50 Cent-
Goddamn.
Power.
Yeah. Power is like what, the most watched show on television? And the craziest part about that is it's a Showtime show. So people pay extra. It is the most watched show on television, and people still pay extra to watch it. What can you say to a man like that? What can you say? Especially if you're Ja Rule.
So, guys, 50 Cent actually posted this picture. Yes, it's Photoshop
Stop!
on his Instagram.
Oh, it's Photoshop, but
He's the one that posted it. Caption, what a show, clap emoji. I mean, just fucking great. Do it again. Laugh emoji. My kid went to the restroom. LOL. Hashtag. What? Yeah, 50 Cent actually posted this. I thought this was just some random person dicking around on the internet. Stop it. Legit.
I feel like that's better than him actually being
I
there.
know.
Bruh. Can we put 50 Cent in the Classic Urban Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I think we should.
Oh my
Cent.
god.
Right up there with big panties.
Right up there with big panties.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the panties family.
Who would you rather get fucked by?
Right.
Pennies or 50 Cent.
Oh my god.
Apparently 50 Cent because I get $3,000 out of it.
You also get psychological trauma.
Got enough of that.
Dog, like,
I can't.
can you imagine like being in Ja Rule shoes? Like just like
You gotta
What?
go to therapy after that.
dog.
like-
Like there's no way
You
around
have
it.
to.
That's so fucked. It's almost as great as when the game was running around just smacking the shit out of rappers.
That was fried.
Okay.
But I'm all hot and sweaty from laughing now because this man
No,
killed
like
me.
so when everyone
He's posting more memes. 50 Cent at the Ja Rule concert. Just watch. Just watch.
This is so sad.
There's no way for the viewers to know what's happening. Oh, it's
God.
okay.
Okay, so
50. Why?
he smacked rappers.
So the game for a while there was like notorious for like if another rapper beefed with him, he would really pull up on him. And the game, Caleb, you might want to hear this.
Okay.
The game, rapper from Los Angeles, Compton, California. Rappers would beef with him, and he was known for like really pulling up and beating your ass. Well, there was another rapper by the name of 40 Glock.
Is he known for just shooting people?
Well, the game pulled up on him, and he had his phone in one hand and was recording himself beat 40 Glock's ass.
I mean, like.
So the video starts with him chasing him. He catches him. 40 Glock fell in a bush. The game just beats the shit out of him. 40 Glock runs, and the game is still chasing him with phone in hand.
Like, just recording the whole shit, just going.
I think at one point in the video, he films his shoes, and he's like, this bitch ass got blood on my shoes. I'm really going to beat his ass, and keeps chasing him.
Oh no!
40 Glock is now a rabbi.
What?
Moved to Atlanta.
Stop, I did
Yeah.
not know this.
Yeah.
Hold up.
No. He's a minister.
He beat Jesus into him?
Yeah. Yes.
He put the fear of God in that
He quit
man.
rap, moved to Atlanta, and is now a minister.
Oh, God. The last words the game said to him was like, you want to see Jesus? And then, yeah.
Basically, yeah. There was another rapper who beefed with him, goes by the name of Maze. Basically, everyone shit on Maze so hard because he went to prison for quote-unquote shooting in a club until, I don't know which rapper found out, but somebody found out that he only shot in the air. And he's now... And
he went to prison for that.
Yeah, Maze is a rabbi now. Because he realized that the street rapping thing wasn't going to work out for him.
Because he lost his street cred.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Hip-hop is real
So they just
quick.
become priests and rabbi when they lose, like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah. People are like...
What else you can do with all that charisma and flow?
Hip-hop is just real quick to just end your fucking life. And it's kind of scary.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's pretty great. That's what I'm telling people. Hip-hop is not as bad. Like, you don't ever hear about, like, this shit happened. Oh, AC/DC is beefing with fucking Slayer. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't a thing.
You know where else that happens, though? Stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
No, dude, there was actually a fight at the Comedy Store a couple nights ago. Yeah, dude, like this...
Aren't comedians generally unathletic people? Who
No, they're all
Yeah.
fucking psychopathic.
well,
And they have nothing but free time on their hand.
Huh. I just thought
But
the
they're all
Carrot-
very
I
unathletic.
do have
Yeah, I thought Carrot
one
Top was the only buff
instance
comedian.
of beef in rock and roll.
He's like fucking swole.
It was Hendrix at Woodstock.
The only black guy in rock and roll, yeah.
Yeah, but basically there it was. I think it was Hendrix and the Who were going at like who was going to open for who, and like they're fighting over the headlining spot.
Hendrix got it, though, didn't he?
No, he was like, "Fuck it, I'll open, but I'm gonna make it a show they can't follow." And he did,
Yeah.
just because he's Hendrix.
Jimmy fucking Hendrix.
That's when he did that really stupid rendition of like the Star Spangled Banner. When I say stupid, I mean badass.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that was pretty great. Yeah. Yeah. Man. See,
You
but
didn't
in
even
rock and roll,
remember doing
there
that.
was no like stories of like Jimi Hendrix chasing fucking Paul McCartney down the street with his phone in his hand, filming himself beat Paul McCartney's ass. Now imagine that story.
Actually,
No, stop it. No. Your album is great.
one back in the Yellow Submarine.
Yeah.
George Lopez actually choked the shit out of Carlos Mencia.
What?
Yeah, like back in the day when Carlos was still stealing jokes at the Laugh Factory, George Lopez just kind of pulled up on him.
Oh my
Just
god.
choked the shit out of him. And then
George Lopez, I feel like, would be a scary motherfucker. Because isn't he, like, really tall?
He's really tall, and he's actually from
psycho.
like the barrio, yeah.
He's a fucking nutcase.
Yeah, all comedians are.
There's some comedians that like Eddie Griffin. I wouldn't want to make him mad.
Eddie
He's
Griffin?
real calm. He's real cool. Real funny.
Yeah.
But I feel like his shortness would get real big real quick.
Did you hear about the time he fucking wrecked a Ferrari?
Eddie
A
Griffin.
Lamborghini. He just wrecked it. Like he literally they were doing a promotion for Undercover Brother, or yeah.
Yeah.
And at the promotion, one of the
Oh,
producers
yeah.
brought a Lamborghini, and like he's like, yeah, I can drive that motherfucker. Crashed it in 2 seconds.
Lil
Wrecked
Pump
it.
did something similar. He bought a brand new Porsche and was flexing on Instagram about it. Wrecked it the same night that he was posting on Instagram, and then proceeded to make it his single track cover. A cartoonized version of him sitting on his now wrecked Porsche.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
That's pretty cool.
He's also trying to promote that being fat is the new cool because he's so fat from drinking on the lean.
Lil Pump.
Dad Bob's Dad Bob.
No, he's getting a pretty serious belly.
Nice.
You know a
Supreme
rapper's on
Patty.
lean when they start to get real fat.
Didn't Gucci used to be really, really big, and then he
Yeah,
got
lean.
swole?
And lean.
It's like how
But then he
Supreme
got
Patty
swole,
blew up.
right?
Is he fat now?
Yo, have you seen the game recently?
He's still beefy, right?
The game's got some titties,
Wow.
but he'd be playing in the Drew League now.
That's dope.
Like I swear to God,
That's dope.
he'd be balling in the Drew League. And I was watching the game once. I was like, who is that nigga? He looked familiar. And then they're like the game, and I was like, oh my God, what is happening?
I just watched a video of
He got like really fit.
yeah, I just watched a video of YG shitting on a bunch of Green Bay fans at the Rams game. It was pretty great.
One last thing about stand-up comedy beef. Sam Kinison once shot at Bill Hicks at the Comedy Store. He was all
What?
coked up, and he just pulled up
The game.
Yeah, the game. Yeah, good job, Caleb.
to the point where the
didn't-
comedians who work at the Comedy Store now are mad about the hole being patched.
Supreme Patty is now fat. That's upsetting. Yeah, he's fat now.
Who is?
I mean, he was
When
never
his acne
fit.
went away.
He was never. Yeah, he because he always posts videos of like going to this acne doctor and shit. Yeah, hip hop's a funny place. Also, shout out but not shout out to all the fucking Instagram people who just decide to be rappers. That shit is fucking annoying. Like Boot Gang and Supreme Patty and all you other Instagram celebrities. Stop trying to be rappers.
All the Instagram
Shit's
celebrities
not
who
cool.
listen to us.
Stick to the Instagram fuckery. Boot Gang, stick to stealing. Because your hip hop career is not working. Supreme Patty, stick to squeezing limes in your eyes. Because this hip hop shit's not for you.
Okay, do we have time to get into an actual topic, or?
I thought the rap.
We're
game
like
was-
right at an hour.
Oh, you suck.
I think hip hop was a pretty.
Because I
Good
figured we could talk about the Mexican border, but it's fine. We'll do that later.
Oh.
Huh, real topics. Fuck that.
We'll need to
I'm
do
just
that.
saying it's.
Another sesh.
River just pulled his dread.
I'm just saying it's a very important thing because it's the most. It's like the
Trending.
biggest American mobilization on the Mexican border in like decades since the Mexican-American War. So
Do we have mortars?
what?
Do we have mortars?
I'm sure we do.
I don't know.
They have mortars and bricks. How are they going to build the wall?
And with that terrible pun,
Yeah, this concludes this episode of Class Leader Podcast. I'm your mother's favorite sideboard.
Resident streamer, Enrique Grifos. Catch me on Tuesdays and Thursdays sometimes.
You suck at this.
You know.
I'm OG Philly G.
It's your boy, Baby Ice Cube.
I'm George.